What's up, Leander? How you doing, man? What's up, Leander? Leander says in the building. What's going on, Leander? How you doing? Uh, Deborah says, why you always picking on Harriet, on poor Harriet? And salute to you, Deborah. Don Philly says, Kev back on his BS, but salute to you as well, Don Philly. Yeah, guys, this is my exposing the ancestors part two. Part one, I went in on Maya Angelou. That sounded like a rap song, didn't it? I went in on Maya Angelou the last time, and I went in on her, and I plan on going in on so many of the ancestors because I believe that we are being brainwashed to believe in fairy tales as a people, and we're also brainwashed to believe that uh, certain people should be pedestalized, which in fact they should not be. For example, like Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou, again, was a sex trafficker. Maya Angelou was a prostitute. And again, guys, she got old and couldn't sell that sweet, sweet pussy. So she had to resort to doing poetry. Nothing wrong with that. But what is wrong with the whole Maya Angelou thing is that growing up in America, Black children are led to believe that they need to adhere to Maya Angelou because she wrote I Know Why a Cage Bird Sings poetry. Nonsensical poetry. These little kids aren't taught to adhere to some of the great scientists, some of the great people who have really done things for the Black community, but a damn poet, an old hoe who was a poet. Now, I'm gonna get in on Harriet Tubman. Now, I know a lot of people. They're gonna be mad at me. I get a lot of hate mail lately. I've been getting a lot of hate email. And the email is, man, Labudo, when I see you, I'm gonna fuck you up. Talking about the ancestors, talking about this, that, and the other. You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do nothing. Because prove me wrong. Prove me wrong on what I say about the ancestors. Now, you're led to believe that Harriet Tubman, a 5 foot tall woman with an Elmer Fudd musket, was out here saving human beings, including men. Now, I know you guys are going to say, Harriet Tubman was real. She was real, Labudo. How is she real, nigga? You was born in 1994. And you going to tell me about some Harriet Tubman. You were born in the turn of the the last decade of the 20th century, and you gonna tell me about some Harriet Tubman? How the hell, sir? Listen. One of the things about our community, the African community, the overall diaspora, is that we believe in nonsense, and it is very, very detrimental to our well-being. First of all, it eliminates critical thinking when people just tell you certain things and you just believe it as a kid. Oh, we were slaves, we were this, we were that. See, they got to tell you this stuff when you are a kid because children are more susceptible to believing in nonsense. So they got to tell you about dinosaurs. They got to tell you that there was a 50-foot tall reptile with little arms like this. See, a child will believe that shit. But imagine telling adults this stuff. Imagine telling an adult that there was a 50-foot monster running around the planet 10 million years ago. I mean, somebody be like, what are you talking about? That doesn't even make any damn sense. Just like slavery, just like most things in history, don't make a lot of sense either. Now, they told you millions and millions and millions of Africans were taken off the planet. Taken off the continent. But you ever ask yourself, were there millions upon millions of Africans even living in West Africa? How did they extract all these people? What did they eat? What did they drink on those damn slave boats? I'm not saying that these things didn't happen, but you have to ask, how did they happen at the scale in which we're told mathematically? Now, Harriet Tubman, let me get back to her. Now, as a kid, you're told so think about this. When was the first time you ever heard of Harriet Tubman? I bet you didn't hear about her when you were 14. I bet you didn't hear about her when you were 20. You heard about her when you were about 4 or 5 years old. See, when you're 4 or 5 years old, adults seem strong and heroic to you and all this nonsense. But when you get older, and especially if you're a boy, you start maturing, and the girls who are your height turn into midgets because you grow exponentially, and all these old women look older now. You start saying, damn, how did these women, or how did this one woman, how was she able to do all these things? See, and that's why they don't tell adults this shit. Now, Harriet Tubman, according to history, was short. Harriet Tubman, according to history, as far as we know, didn't know any martial art. And Harriet Tubman didn't have any damn machine guns. How in the hell was she saving grown ass black men back in the day? Think about your average woman now. Your average woman doesn't even shovel the damn snow. Your average woman now doesn't even like taking out the damn trash. Your average woman now can't even barely lift. Listen, let's be honest. How many women you ever seen are mowing the damn grass? See, when you become an adult, you start thinking. And that's what happened to me, man. When I got about 12, I said, wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. All the women I ever met in my life, they cry on the job. Every woman, think back. Every woman you've ever worked with, I bet you they've cried on the job. Think back hard. I bet you they went into the bathroom. I bet you that. You mean to tell me this woman, she was the greatest outdoorsman? She was fighting off bears and all types of wild animals back in the day. She wasn't walking on the roads. She was hunting every day. You ever walked from I think she had to walk from what? New York to Maryland. Do you ever walk like that? What was her supply chain? How did she eat every damn day? How did she drink water? You ever went 1 or 2 days without eating? Well, back then they were just strong enough to do it. Why is it always back then everybody was just strong enough? Why was it? I mean, you ever sit back and think about that? It just so happens that everybody back then was stronger. Everybody back then, they could have did that. No, they couldn't have. The same women you see now were the same women that existed hundreds of years ago. You mean to tell me that Harriet Tubman literally had an Elmer Fudd musket, and she was walking around just, killing any wild animal, eating them? If there were wolves and bears back then that roamed that part of America more than what they do now, because now it's too urban. And you mean to tell me that this woman was fending off all these wild animals? She found all these. She found all this fresh water, and then she somehow happened to go to all these plantations, do all types of subterfuge, and save grown ass niggas. When's the last time you ever seen niggas? Listen. When's the last time you ever seen a group of niggas that say, you know what, we all need to do this, and we all need to come together, and let's hurry up and do this real quick, and they all act in unison? Stop it. That ain't happening. Let me read some of the chat real quick. Movie Hood says Underground Railroads, secret railroads where are they now? Gabe says impossible. Wild animals, unexplored terrain, and escaping white folk the whole time. And supposedly the bitch did it multiple times. Stop it. They're telling us this because they think we are stupid. That's what it is. Let's come up with a story. Let's come up with, blah, blah. Typically the black mind is, you know, their niggers are dumb. Tell them this woman was a hero and they'll believe it. And you believed it. But not me. I don't believe the shit. Maybach Music says, nah, she didn't. They make women the heroes when it comes to Black history. That's not a coincidence. Ooh, facts. Deborah says, why are you making us think about the logistics? You ever went on a road trip? How many times do you stop and eat? How many times mind you, you're just driving 8 hours, but think about what the human body needs well, we're weaker now. We don't need back then they could go 20 days without eating. Nigga, you was born in 1995. How the hell do you know what they went through in 1844? You don't know that shit. Now stop it. Movie Hood says she was dog proof. Yeah, she must have been. She must have been dog proof, wolf proof, bear proof, all types of animals back then that were roaming the terrain. And not to say that these animals are man eaters, but you think about this. You're just walking and you happen to stumble upon, you ever seen the video of that white boy and that cougar was chasing them for a half a mile because the cougar was protecting their cubs? Jimmy says next they're gonna say Nate Turner fact. Next he's gonna say Nate Turner facts. Somebody says, "What am I smoking?" No, I'm not smoking anything. I want you to think. I want you to think. When's the last time you saw a woman pick up something heavy? I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. When's the last time you heard a Black woman say, "Girl, I'm about to walk in the rain somewhere"? I'll wait. What the Black women were different back then. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. We got to stop pretending. The other day I was arguing with my beautiful wife. And my wife was telling me about about how she was appalled at some parents twerking at a school event. And I said, Shauna, don't be appalled by that. That's nothing new. Black women have been twerking their little asses since ancient times. Shauna said, no, they haven't. No, they haven't. I showed her pictures of the damn hieroglyphs that had Black women shaking their asses half naked. Am I lying? Am I lying? I got to pull that up, actually. Give me a second here. I'm trying to tell you, ain't nothing new under the sun. And women were the same back then. They were weak, and they're supposed to be weak. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't convince me as a man that a 5-foot woman was saving my ass. Are you crazy? And that's what's so bad about the story of Harriet Tubman. You mean to tell me some 6'2" niggas on some plantation was listening to this woman? Stop it. They're undermining the Black man. And Black people play a part in that destruction too. Give me a second. I'm looking this up. Just want to prove something to you. I want to prove to you ain't nothing new under the sun. Black women don't like walking in the rain now, and they didn't like walking in the rain 200 years ago, and they for damn sure didn't like walking in the rain ever. Give me that shit. Oh, well, Black people were so different back then. Shut up. Let me find this for you. Because I want to prove y'all wrong. Black women have been twerking for thousands of years. Give me a second. Just want to prove this to you real quick. Let me see. Jimmy says, this dude done put up all kinds of possibilities I never thought of in my head. That's what I'm here for. Gabe said, I'm right on this. Riot Pump says, I drove from Dallas to Las Vegas and back on business. Took 2 days and didn't eat anything. You lying, Riot. You lying, Riot Pump. Quit lying. I just want to prove to you that everything that happened now will happen. Everything that's happening now happened back then. Black women don't like getting their hair wet now, and they didn't like getting their hair wet hundreds of years ago. So you can't sit up here and tell me Harriet Tubman was real. She wasn't in no damn outdoors for months on end. Get out of here, saving some niggas. Stop it. Only niggas she was probably saving was herself, and I doubt that. I doubt she even exists. I think the whole story is made up. Maybach says nigga had his hand out looking up saying, "Save me, Harriet." Ain't that some shit? They're teaching the school system is teaching young black boys that their grown ass man ancestors were being saved by some midget. Please stop calling my ancestor a midget, Labudo. Shut up. Shut up. Ryan Pump says the human body does very well without food. It actually performs better when it's running on. What? Get Riot Pump up out of here. He's lying. Give me a second. Let me get this for you. Let me show you something real quick to prove my point about ain't nothing new under the sun. I'm gonna show you something real quick. And I want you guys to look at this real hard and tell me I'm not tripping. Where is it at? I want to show you something real quick. I want to show you something. Of course, it's taking forever to load. Now look at that. Now look at that. This is a real picture of the hieroglyphs. Black women were twerking back then. This is 7,000 years ago. And they were twerking. So ain't nothing new under the sun. So just how women don't like mowing the lawn, just how women don't like getting their hair wet, just like women don't like being outdoors, they didn't like doing the shit back then. Ain't nothing new under the sun. You can't trick me into believing that this woman was so brave that she risked her life for some niggas that she didn't even know. Talking about she freed 150 slaves in the course of her life. Nigga, please. When's the last time you seen a black woman do something random for some niggas she didn't know? And putting her life at risk. That ain't happening. It's not natural. Sinister says, I don't care how strong they were black back then. Ain't nobody fighting no bear. Right. Jimmy says, hey, yo, Budo, you on one today, but I can't say you're wrong. Thank you, sir. I'm that dude said, stop disrespecting foundational black Americans. Oh, I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link early on this one because I want you niggas to cam up and debate me on this one. And I want you guys to look at that photo of the hieroglyphs as proof that nothing is new under the sun. Women don't like being outdoors now. Women don't like it, especially black women. You ever try to throw a black woman in a swimming pool? No, don't throw me in the pool, my hair. That you think that's some new shit? They were acting like that in 1854. Don't throw me in the pool. In 1854, and they were acting like that in 1444 too. Black woman wasn't saving nothing. I know, but some old nigga, I know the old nigga that's in the chat listening right now. This old nigga, he gonna make a video about me. He's gonna say, oh, you know, this. I don't want to put this nigga name out, but his name begins with an R. He's going to say that all the Budos disrespected the ancestors. But I think it's disrespectful to allow an institution to provide you with false information. You should be able to critically think and ask, wait a minute. We've never asked about the logistics of slavery. We've never asked about the logistics of people like Harriet Tubman. How did this woman eat? What does she drink? Where does she sleep at? It's so many questions that come to my mind when I think about Harriet Tubman. I don't even think she existed. I think the pictures that they're giving you was some actress. Yeah, we need to, make it seem like, you niggas had a coming of age or an overcoming something story. Let's give you a woman. Let's put a woman in front. Make a woman the hero. Put some short black bitch in. That's what they were doing. Maybach says Madam C.J. Walker made that hot comb for them in the 1800s. They definitely wasn't getting in the water. Ooh. I dropped the link. Mike from Boston says, I'm that dude. I'll get you up out of here. I want somebody to cam up. I want somebody to cam up with a differing opinion. Prove me wrong on this. But I know. You're gonna say that she existed. You're gonna say that your great grandmother knew her. I know. You niggas are gonna mention the Civil War. I know. But I dropped the link for you. I want you to cam up. Let me keep on reading some of this real quick. Deborah says, this is 4,000 years old hair protection. Yeah. Sinister Salt, what's up, man? Harriet, do you
Hey, what's going on, Labuto, man?
I'm chilling. Do you believe in Harriet Tubman or not? Keep it real, sir.
Honestly, not really, bro. Because when you take okay, so this is the Labuto Network. Can I say some crazy shit, or is that only in Kevin and Sales?
You could be as vulgar as possible over here. Go ahead, sir.
All right, yeah. Man, that bitch. Okay, so let me get this straight. She was leading people through miles and miles and miles of woods, treacherous terrain and shit, and they just happened to, you know what I'm saying? She just survived all that. A little 5 foot, whatever. Little woman just survived all that shit because she had survival skills, because that's what the plantations was teaching them. They was teaching them how to craft weapons and all types of survival skills and shit. Those are the tools and trades that they taught them as they survive in this world as slaves. Really, they taught them how to endure all that shit. They taught them how to fight motherfucking grizzlies and wolves and all type of shit while they was out there, just in case they ever escaped. Oh, if you ever escape, here's how you take down a 600-pound black bear. Nah, that shit, that's not what was happening, bro.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. And why do you think? So I gave my reasoning as to why you're taught these nonsensical stories in elementary school. But what do you? Why do you think kids are taught this, or does your belief align with mine? Keep it real.
Well, because the world is so fucked up, everything is so rigged. They want all these children because a lot of them grow up to be absolutely nothing. A lot of them grow up to work minimum wage jobs. A lot of them they grow up to become cogs in the machine. But they give them these stories so that they can always believe, well, Harriet Tubman did it. The underdog won in that story. So yeah, even though I might get into a fucked up situation when I get older, hey, I could end up being one of those underdogs. It's a story of hope for the little guy. That's basically what the fuck it is. It's just it's just another story of hope.
Now, Riot Pump says it would be easy for Harriet Tubman to kill a bison, turn it into turkey, and preserve it, and make her make her way through the underground world. Now, Senator, while you respond to this nonsensical comment, I'm gonna show everybody how big a bison is. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
I think Riot Pump is trolling, bro. Like, yeah, she knew how to take down a bison. Like, really? There's mountain lions who fail at taking down bisons, and they literally have what you call like a predatory instinct. Like, they know exactly when to attack, and a lot of them fail doing this. So I'm supposed to believe this little 5'1" bitch. Nah, bro, he gotta be trolling, bro. He gotta be trolling.
Go ahead. I'm going to show everybody what a bison is, assuming that there were bison in this part of the country 200 years ago. I'm going to show everybody what a bison is. Yeah, I'm going to show everybody. Go ahead, sir. You got the floor.
Yeah, to me, it's like, because a lot of the slaves that they did take, you know what I'm saying? Because they used to chop off slaves' legs and shit like that, and their feet and shit like that. And some of them, they were still young enough to where it was like, okay, they're going to hop along. What the hell are you going to do when the weak link comes across a pack of wolves? Because that's basically what it is at that point. It's the weak link. It's the weak link in the chain. The one slave who's missing a foot, who we decided to take with us, we're going to have to leave them behind. And then what? You don't hear too often too many stories of, oh, this is how Harriet Tubman dealt with that situation. Like, okay. I don't know. A lot of it just sounds like bullshit. A lot of it, yeah.
I want everybody to look at this real quick. This white guy looks about 6 foot. Look how huge this bison is. Ain't no way in hell
Shit.
some
Nah.
5 foot woman or man with a Elmer Fudd musket that shoots one round every 4 minutes is killing that damn thing. Go ahead.
That honestly, that thing looked like it could probably survive getting hit by a car like head on. Like if they just bashed into each other like mountain goat style, like it looks like it will probably survive and probably win that battle. So we're supposed to believe she did that shit. Even if she got like a group of 10 people, like unless you all have perfectly crafted spears and shit, which I'm pretty sure they didn't. Like, bro, like what? Maybe 4 or 5 of them out of a group of like 15, maybe. Had a knife on them, and even then, it's like that thing's skin is so fucking thick, it's so damn big and strong, it's gonna be like getting poked by needles. Yeah. So how exactly? Nah, Riot Pump. I think Riot Pump's trolling. They got to be trolling with that one.
I think he is. Yeah, I think he is. Guys, I just dropped the link. If you are offended by what I'm saying, I would love for you to cam up. You know, I am always interested in hearing other people's perspectives and opinions. But there is no way in hell, that a lot of these stories that we're told are true. Just like what's that one story about that white man that was a fairy tale too that they tell you when you were a kid? What's the guy?
David and Goliath?
No, I'm talking about he was an outdoorsman in the 1700s. It's a fairy tale. Paul Bunyan. Yeah. Maybe the story of Harriet Tubman was really a new adaptation of Paul Bunyan. Who all knows, right? Paul Bunyan was this great outdoorsman. He was supposedly this very strong man that was killing animals and just eating them and chopping down trees and living off the grid. It's possible that it may have happened, but that's a fairy tale. Go ahead, sir.
Right. Yeah, man. Honestly, it's like I said before, it just sounds like another here's a little bit of hope for the little guy type of story. Like let's inspire some hope inside his tiny little tiny Tim heart and believe that he can. Nah, bro. Honestly, yeah, before I go, man, it just sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Ain't no way she was doing all that. Ain't no way she had the knowledge to survive out there and all that fucking terrain and shit for how long did they say she was doing that shit for?
They said that she made several trips, through multiple states by herself most of the time. It's almost an impossibility without a supply chain or without support from people with you. It's how the hell did she do it? How? There are men who do shit like that. Ain't no way in hell this woman did that shit by herself.
And they cross, and you gotta think they're crossing rivers. All types of shit lives in rivers, fucking poisonous snakes, all type of shit. You're coming across wolves, you're coming across bears, coming across mountain lions. All these things are hungry.
Yes.
And you're something that looks like they could hunt. You're a group of something, and you don't. Nah, bro. It just all right. Yeah, I'm about to go, man. It sounds like
Have a good one, man. Thank you very much. There is a strong possibility, guys. Now, generally, wild animals don't eat human beings. But there are cases, and you can look this up. This ain't Labuto just talking. But there are cases when older wild animals, like an old bear, there's been so many cases in India of old tigers that are so old that they can't hunt wild game anymore, that they just pick a human to kill, because humans were slow. We're like Oompa Loompas compared to wild animals. Just walking around, and they will kill a human being and eat it because they can't eat wild game anymore. So who's to say that there wasn't some old ass wolf, some old ass bear, some old ass whatever type of wild animal that was like, shit, I need to eat, but I can't hunt anything anymore. But let me get this slow running ass human being that can't climb a tree, that's not as athletic as I am. I don't know if that's how wild cats think, but think about a Nittany lion. Cats are super athletic. It would be nothing for a cat or a big ass mountain lion, whatever they're called, panther, to just kill a human being whenever needed. You mean to tell me that this woman never, Nothing like that ever happened. You mean to tell me on all of her expeditions with all these supposed people with her, they never got caught. Well, she had a rifle. Guys, this is not the 1980s. There were no semi-automatic weapons. People had one round in the damn chamber. And you mean to tell me this woman was just so sweet at everything? What was so wrong with the story? There's so many things that are wrong with the story. It gives a false hope to people. And it takes away the ability for men to critically think. You have grown men. One of them is watching the channel. His name begins with an R. Grown men in their 50s and 60s who believe that their ancient ancestors during slavery were being saved by a woman. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine how crazy this is? What's up, Rush? Gabe says once is miraculous, but 7 times, yeah. Hood Movie says Aunt Jemima was a white male dressed in blackface. No lie, I didn't know that. But I know. People, it's probably some old people. His name begins with an R. He's probably watching this. He's gonna be mad. He's gonna try to get other YouTube content creators to make videos about me. Well, bring it on. Bring it on. I'm exposing the ancestors. They need to be exposed because learning about these people, learning about these stupid stories is keeping the black race back. We can't progress if we constantly are being bombarded with fairy tales. People always say, well, you put the white man on the pedestal. I don't put anybody on a pedestal. But hear me out. In the white race, their fairy tales are presented as a fairy tale, as a movie. Thor used to be a Greek god in Greece. Zeus used to be an actual god to the Greeks. But then the Greeks said, wait a minute, whoa, this ain't real. And then it became a fairy tale. Then it became a superhero. I would respect it if we as black people said, you know what? The story of Harriet Tubman doesn't seem real, doesn't seem logical when you sit back and think about the logistics of it. But let's make the story of Harriet Tubman a superhero woman, like a bad black bitch. But you're trying to present it as fact. That's the problem. That's the problem. Make her story like Black Panther or something. Harriet Tubman saves the day. And make it like a Marvel movie. Yeah, it's fiction. But don't present these stories as fact. They're not. Because we are smarter now. We're smarter. And I think back then they didn't think that we would have Google. I think back then they didn't think that the common man would be literate. They didn't think that we would be able to research and fact check and just use common sense. To all the men that are watching this, let me ask you this. How many times has your mother done roofing? How many times has your mother picked up something? Man, don't talk about my mom, man. Shut up. I'm not talking about your mom. I'm asking you a question. You got to use common damn sense. There was nothing magical about women back then. And ain't nothing magical about them now. And truth be told, ain't nothing magical about a lot of men. The fact of the matter is that we as human beings, we have these visions of the past and we romanticize the past. All the past was just so great. It was so marvelous, but it wasn't. Just like a lot of these Hotep niggas, they romanticize ancient Egypt. When in fact, the 99% of the Egyptians could not read that shit. They couldn't read or write. The average ancient Egyptian was probably poor as dirt, just a simple farmer. They weren't simple farmers. Well, how many pharaohs could it be in one? Let me tell you something. How many pharaohs was it in Upper Egypt? Well, it was one. Well, doesn't that kind of make it seem like it had a hierarchy and a caste system? Oh, I never thought about that. Yeah, dummy. That's how. What are you talking about? Ain't nothing new under the sun. The only difference between us and the ancient Egyptians is that we have cars. That's it. That's it. Well, and electricity. Oh, and computers. Yeah, we're a little bit more advanced than they are, but you get what I'm saying. Let me drop the link again. Maybach Music says they still believe in Santa and the Tooth Fairy too. Yeah. Now again, maybe the story of Paul Bunyan was told as a fact back then to inspire men to work the land and this, that, and the other. But over time, people said, wait a minute. Paul Bunyan, he was 8 feet tall and he killed bears with his bare hands. I've never seen a man do that. And then somebody said, well, the story was bullshit. We were just trying to get you guys to build the colonies. That's what happened. That's what happened. And I feel like Harriet Tubman is another example of a Paul Bunyan story. Why are they telling blacks this story? Why are they presenting this as fact? Well, I saw pictures of her. Well, I saw pictures of Thanos too, and Thanos ain't real either. Now, again, if you go back to the 90s, look this up. Michael Jordan was referred to as God on court. Am I lying? Now, I bet you if you were to take that same newspaper, go to the future, and present that to people, they would say, why were you guys calling him a god? Was he a god? You would trick them. But no, we just said that because, his skill set was so unbelievable that that's why we applied that. It was so the same thing. Maybach says, stop, bro. You're exposing the ancestors. Ancestors, my ass. Excuse me, guys. So yeah, a lot of these stories may have been told to inspire people. But after a while, people started to accept this as the truth. And maybe the story of Harriet Tubman was just some bullshit that was told in the slave quarters to inspire hope. I can understand that. But somewhere down the line, people started to believe it. They told their children, or I don't know how it was actually, I don't know how the actual story of Harriet Tubman came into common culture, but it's probably just a folk tale. That's all what it probably is. Oh, she fought in the Civil War. Well, yeah, of course she fought in the Civil War. That would go with the narrative. But let's be honest. How many women are on the front lines in actual combat? How many? No, come on. You mean to tell me Harriet Tubman was on the front lines fighting with men in actual full-blown... Stop! They ain't even let women in the army back then. She was a spy. Her black ass was a spy? Come on. I mean, come on. They would catch her immediately. But I know people are going to take this video. They're going to clip it. They're going to call me a coon. They're going to call me an Uncle Tom. They're going to say all types of horrific things about me. But the truth of the matter is that what eventually happens in my life, because has happened all my life, people will come back to me 5 years later, 10 years later, say, man, I wanted to fight you that night. But about 3 years later, what you said came true, and you were right, Labudo. And that's what happens all the time in my life. And I'm telling you guys, There is no video footage of this woman. The only pictures we have is the pictures that is presented. Oh, this is her. You wouldn't know who that woman was if nobody ever damn told you. You're presented with some pictures, maybe of a damn actress. For all we know, that was a damn actress. We don't know who that woman was. And then you're told to believe that this woman traveled by herself from state to state, fending off wild animals, somehow eating and drinking food every day, and then managed to get on a plantation. Uh, I mean, without being caught by the overseers, not being caught by people who are looking for who are hired to capture slaves, and somehow she got into the slave quarters and talked them into leaving with her, and they all of a sudden just left. Damn, that was some good shit. Come on, black people can't get together to cook a damn hot dog without arguing sometimes. Let alone you wake some niggas up at 2 a.m. They just worked a full day without being paid. Somebody knocking on the door saying, "Y'all gonna come with me down south? My name Harriet." "Oh yeah, we're gonna follow you. We're gonna follow. We're just gonna follow you." When the hell have you ever seen some niggas just automatically just jump on something like that? But I know, I'm a coon. I know you guys are gonna say it. D says this man is always tearing down black people. I swear dark skinned men are the biggest coons in the world. Riot says the Underground Railroad was a network of resistance, though. Harriet Tubman was just the face of it. She had a lot of help. The Underground Railroad, again, may be false as well. And we don't know exactly what happened back then. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of things in history have been distorted, and a lot of things in history are just a game of telephone. We don't really know if the Underground Railroad existed at the scale in which we are taught, and we don't know if these people existed in the first damn place. you know. But I know D, who was born in 1994, he's gonna tell me, "Oh, Harriet Tubman existed." How do you know that? Well, I read it in a book. You read it in a book, huh? And what book was that? Well, I read it in a book in the second grade, Labuto, and you're a coon. So let me get this straight, D. You read a book about a woman who was saving hundreds of Negroes, and you read it in the book in the second grade, huh? Okay. All right. All right. All right. Don says she was perfect because they wouldn't expect it from her. D says, when is the last time Labuto talked shit about a white man or an Asian or a Native American? This man hates his race. Sir, I did a 3-hour video about Elizabeth Holmes, who was probably one of the biggest white collar criminals in modern U.S. history, sir. She is very white, and she was the CEO of Theranos. I did that about her, sir. I give smoke to everyone, sir. I want you to cam up, Deontay. Let's see. Excuse me, guys. But yeah, I know. But like I said, but the thing is that there's older people. They love being victims. They love the idea that their ancestors were just beat into submission. They love the idea that, I'm talking about men, they love the idea that their ancient ancestors, who were men, were saved by women. That's how weak they are. We're the only race. We are the only race that pedestalizes feminine, pedestalizes women to the point that the woman is the savior. The woman is the fucking leader. No other race does that shit. And that's the problem in our race. D says, okay, that once in your whole YouTube career. Ha ha ha. D, cam up. Cam up, D. But ain't no way in hell this woman, there is no way in hell that this woman made those trips without being caught, without facing any adversity with danger from animals or the terrain. There's no way. It's impossible almost. It's almost impossible. And again, guys, I said it about 50 times already in this 47 minutes. There is no way that Harriet Tubman was just this different woman back then. No, women now are the same. Now they were the same back then. Frightened of everything. Oh, I ain't going outside at night. That's how women act now. But let me guess, it was 1800 and women were different back then. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. And I refuse to believe that this woman saved black people. I refuse to believe that shit. And when you can prove to me that your mothers, that your grandmothers were these great outdoorsmen, then I would say, you know what? I believe in the Harriet Tubman story. Or maybe the Harriet Tubman story is just, again, a folk tale to inspire people. Maybe that's what it is. You were cool, Labudo. You were cool. You trolling. Now, I know I'm always trolling. You know, it's funny that black people always say you're trolling when you talk against the common conversation or against common thinking. When you say things like, well, maybe the transatlantic slave trade wasn't as large as we think it was. You're trolling. Why am I trolling? Why am I trolling? Because I think different from you. That's the problem within our race. You trolling. You trolling. I dropped the link. Don't be afraid to cam up. You ain't listen. This doesn't have to be an echo chamber. You can cam up. There's a lot of people in the bushes. You know, a lot of people who are waiting to talk or who want to talk, who believe that Harriet Tubman was just this great outdoorsman, this phenomenal outdoorsman. You ever wondered this? Okay, how about this? All of the outdoorsman shows, all of these shows about living in the woods, how come they don't never say anything about Harriet Tubman? But let me guess, it's made by the white man and they races, right? Or maybe people who are really outdoorsmen don't believe that shit of the Harriet Tubman story. You cool. You are cool. You are cool, Labudo. No, I'm not. I'm not. Trying to read who's in the chat. Okay. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. So the fact of the matter is that maybe, and just maybe, all of it is just bullshit. You know? And who's to say that this is not some con game? You know? Who's to say it? They're tricking you. And you may ask, who is they? The powers that be. The powers that be. Listen, these history books are made by publishing companies. These publishing companies may, in fact, have deals with books. I don't know, but let's say that there were stories or books written about Harriet Tubman. These companies that make textbooks, they say, you know, we need to sell these books. Put this Harriet Tubman story in there. A lot of people have bought books about Harriet Tubman, so let's keep the kids cycled in, and they'll keep reading the books, and they'll read the textbook, and then they'll go out and they'll watch movies and buy books about Harriet Tubman. Let's keep the story going. Let's keep the story going. Those niggers will buy it. Those niggers will buy it. Oh, you can't say niggers, sir. Oh, yeah, sorry. That's how they keep the stories going. You ever notice that a lot of stories that we watch as kids, They're still look. Fresh Prince of Bel Air was wildly popular in the 90s. Wildly fucking popular. Why do you think that they have a new show called Bel Air, which is a reimagining of it? It's because it is still a moneymaker. The kids who watched it are adults. They're gonna tell their kids, "Oh yeah, it was a show in the 90s called Fresh Prince, and it was a good show, and blah 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 and blah blah blah." And that guy here, he's in his 50s, but he was in his 20s. And oh, mom, for real, wow, I want to watch that. Star Trek. Star Trek has made literally a remake of they've gone back and pretty much they're having actors play the same characters from the original series. They're regurgitating the same story to a new generation. Why not make newer stories in the future in Star Trek? Because nobody grew up on that shit. But my thing is, if it worked the first time, it may work the second time. So resell that shit. Just saying. Don Philly said, Harriet saved your life too, Kev. You wouldn't be able to bring your ass to America. So yeah, maybe they have to retell the story of Harriet, or maybe they have to retell the story of slavery to keep the economy going. You know, to keep you buying books, to keep you buying, going to these dumb ass movies about slavery, to keep you in this state of racial, what's the word I'm looking for? This whole racial paradigm, if you will. You know, always thinking about slavery, and so you know, it may be some big money making scheme. I don't know. You know, keep selling them slavery. Keep selling them Harriet Tubman. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Did Harriet Tubman save your ancestors? Keep it real, sir. Keep it real.
Man, you know what? I did a whole lot of extensive research about Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
I Googled her. I read history books of her. You know what I came up with?
What's that, sir?
Absolutely nothing.
There we go. Before you continue,
nothing.
What kind of camera is that, by the way? That's a very nice camera.
Oh, I am. What's this? My Canon. I have a Canon.
Oh, okay. So what say you, sir, about Harriet Tubman? Go ahead, sir.
I got nothing, bro. I believe that Harriet Tubman really is a fictitious character that was made up. Because I ever found no records of it whatsoever. There's no birth certificate. There's nothing, period.
Yeah.
Of Harriet Tubman that I have found out about. Nothing.
Now the question is that did they make birth certificates for the slaves? So that's a good question. So they didn't make them for the slaves. Okay. So it would be damn near. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the only way they make birth certificates for the slave if the slaves was considered a citizen. But back in the day, they were not considered citizens.
Okay. So what's your theory on this Harriet Tubman thing? Go ahead, sir.
I believe that the whole concept about Harriet Tubman is just one of these things that they want to incorporate in the history book to inspire people to believe in something. Same concept with, by religion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where people talk about the concept about God and the devil, all these different concepts about that. It's designed to manipulate people in a way to inspire them about something. In this situation, inspiring, other slaves and stuff to believe that they had a savior to come in, save them, take them to the quote unquote Underground Railroad, which I'm from the South, and I still have not yet to this day actually seen the Underground Railroad. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
And so the tragedy of this is that they try to make the Underground Railroad this fictitious network of whites who somehow, they had this signal in their home. Like when I was a kid, they said that it was a candle in the window, and that's how I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you crazy? Do you honestly think that I'm gonna believe that African people or black people they left these plantations and somehow they were just walking and they saw a house with a fucking candle in the damn window and they knocked on the door and said, is this the Underground Railroad? Or what if the person was just randomly with a candle and was a person who hated blacks? See, this is why they can't tell adults this story. They have to tell kids this at a very young age so that they can get so they can get brainwashed enough to believe it, so to the point where there's no questioning about it after so many years. Go ahead, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you just think about the whole narrative about Harriet Tubman, here it is, a slave black woman who apparently had all these skills and ability to navigate from where she was at all the way up into the northern region and stuff. Right, she had that ability to do that. She had the ability to network with other people as well that she never knew about. You know what I'm saying? Had the ability to go through treacherous lands and everywhere to get this network together to allow people to find their way to the northern regions. But however, to me it does seem far-fetched, to be honest with you. That's based on her ability. I don't want to sound sexist, but that's based on her ability as a woman during that time. It does seem way too far-fetched.
Right. So it is far-fetched, because when I got older, I started thinking about people in my own family, women. And I was like, I've never seen a woman in my family lift something over 30 pounds, 40 pounds. I've never seen a woman in my family go outside at night by themselves without being accompanied by a man. And I'm like, Harriet Tubman what made her so damn special? And somebody told me a month ago, or a little over a month ago, that women were different back then. And I said, no, they weren't. Women are the same in every era. And I showed that picture of the women dancing in ancient Egypt to prove a point that that black women have been twerking for 5,000 years. The Egyptians wrote about it. They painted the shit. Yeah, I said there ain't nothing new under the sun. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, that's actually facts. Not only they've been doing that, but also for us the makeup, and also them wearing extensions and all stuff. They was doing that back then too. That ain't nothing different.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me read the chat real quick. Riot Pump says, so John Tubman was a fictional character as well. Child, please. It's possible, Riot, that John Tubman was a fictional character. Because, sir, we don't. Go ahead, sir.
Because like I say, we don't even have no record of it. All we're doing is going by word of mouth. That's it. If there's historical record documentation showing that these people are real, then you'll see it. Just like with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you could go into public records and prove that they are actually real people during that time.
Yeah. I mean, right. So there's public record. But the problem that I have with Harriet Tubman, there's a lot of things in history that we didn't see, and there's a lot of records that could be up for questioning. I mean, for God's sakes, they tell us all about all these Roman emperors that we are expected to believe. The problem with Harriet Tubman that I have is that it's the logistics behind her existence. It's the fact that if she's by herself walking, my thing is that what if she could not find a fresh water supply? What if a wild ass animal would have injured her? And I'm talking about, let's say, for example, she walked upon some territory that a nittany lion had. They had some kids or some cubs, and the nittany lion bit the shit out of her ankle or bit the shit out of her thigh, and it rendered her incapable of walking for months. It just doesn't make any sense to me, because like one injury, like one devastating injury to her by an animal would have automatically killed her, because what would she be able to eat or drink if she's injured to the point where she could barely move? And so these are the questions that I started asking when I became an adult. And so when I went into college, and I studied African studies as well, and believe it or not, official urban therapist, I used to get chased out of many classes. I
bet you will.
I used to ask these, and it'd be my friends chasing me like, "We're gonna beat your ass, nigga," chasing me out of class with their dashikis and nappy ass heads because they all into this shit. And I'm saying, no. We have to ask ourselves these questions. Go ahead, sir.
I agree with you. When you enter these studies, I'm taking, by the way, you attend HBCU or you actually attend actual university or what?
I went to a PWI.
A PWI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whenever you take them African study classes, and it's all us black people,
Yeah.
we already have the narrative implanted into our one brain that we're supposed to believe in this. But when you challenge that belief system, then now
Yeah.
you're evil. You're the devil.
Exactly. And they
You're the
want to
devil.
fight you. They want to beat you. I had girls wanting to fight me physically. Like, nigga, we gonna beat
And all
your ass.
you're doing is asking questions. You're
That's
like,
all I'm
okay,
doing.
if this is true, show me where it's true at, so I could believe it too. I want to believe in Santa Claus could come down the chimney too, but y'all got to
Exactly.
show me how is it possible. If you show me that, I'm good with it.
Exactly. Riot Pump says she had sympathizers who provided her with food and shelter. Let me tell you something, Riot Pump. People back then were very, very, very poor. Could you imagine if someone who knew about her existence wanted to just trap her for reward money?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. You mean to tell me that nobody ever hated on her? Nobody ever? It's just a fascinating story. It's a fascinating story. And Riot Pump, I know you're trolling, but we have to start asking ourselves these questions.
Here's another question too that you should consider. What was the postal system was back in the day versus how the way it is now? How did they get word of mouth knowing about the existence of Harriet Tubman and her movement? How did that happen?
I have no idea, and that's another thing too. Was it Curry? I mean, we don't know.
I mean, what they have at their teleprompter? They threw the doves up there and warned them. Well, what would they do for them to know about her? Here's another thing too that y'all want to consider. Harriet Tubman was a slave as well too, so that's by default. If she were to pull up at anyone's house, she'll be immediately got either turned in or shot on the spot.
Yeah.
Or both.
It's so many questions, and I feel like only a kid could believe this nonsense. And I think that's the beauty of a child's brain. They are innocent, and they will believe in Santa Claus, they will believe in a tooth fairy. But after a while, when you become an adult, when you start using reasoning and logic, you start saying, wait a minute. So imagine if you were 25 years old, never hearing about Harriet Tubman, somebody told you about this woman. I bet you wouldn't believe it as easy because, again, your brain is so developed. And the fact is that, again, I don't want this story to be fake. I don't care if Harriet Tubman was freeing people, but I know it could not have happened because of logic and in terms of logistics.
Exactly.
And the thing is that I think it was a word of mouth story of hope that became some sort of fact to the people who were the recipients of the story. And I use the story of Paul Bunyan. I'm assuming that the Paul Bunyan story was probably perceived as fact at one point in time as well.
But it is absolutely fake, a made up story.
That's a made up story. But I'm assuming that the story was probably told to inspire people to help build the. I don't know when the story was created, but I'm assuming that the story was created to help people build the colonies, to inspire men to build. You know, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Libudo. Everything that you're saying, I absolutely agree with you. At the end of the day, all of us was an inspiration to rally people together and stuff. Now, Raya, he mentioned about the resistance. Everything about the resistance, all that is true. That actually happened. That's historical. There's historical documentation of that other event transpired. But the one thing we're talking about is this one character, which is Harriet Tubman. So what made Harriet Tubman so special versus all the other people who had a part in the resistance that you're talking about? What made her so special that you need to tell the story about her? And then here's another thing too. There's only one picture that I know of Harriet Tubman that floats around everywhere. There's no picture of her being younger or anything like that. It is this one picture that we're going by.
Yeah. And I've been saying this for 2 decades. The pictures that we see of Harriet Tubman could just be a black actress in the 1800s. We don't know. Could be like, hey, we need somebody with this story. Hey, you look like a slave nigger bit. Hey, you come take this picture. That's what
Mhm.
that's the story. We don't know what exactly happened. And the fact is that it's just so fascinating that people just readily believe these stories, you know. And it's just like with Maya Angelou. I did a video about Maya Angelou on this channel a few weeks ago. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one.
And people were so upset with me because I said that it's fascinating that we only know about the poetry part, but they didn't teach you that Maya Angelou was a sex trafficker. They didn't teach you
Mhm.
that Maya Angelou was a prostitute. They didn't teach you that Maya Angelou never had any children with black people or black men. They didn't tell you that Maya Angelou married 3 white men. They only told you that she was a poet and blah blah blah. But the fact is that why are they always putting this woman in front of black kids to want to, as some sort of inspiration? She didn't
Mhm.
like black people. It was a hustle for her. Well, somebody said, "Well, how can you prove that?" How can I prove it? She married 3 white men, and again, there's nothing wrong with interracial dating. But if you are so for the people, your spouse will automatically reflect that. If you're
Exactly.
really for black people, your spouse is gonna be black. I gotta
Exactly.
say that, And my thing is that we are so brainwashed. I played a video. Hear me out. Let me get this video real quick so you can see it. This happened in the early '90s. I'm
Mhm.
gonna show you something real quick, and I played this video for a reason. And this is why I love exposing the ancestors because this ancestor bull shit is bullshit. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Now look at what this old hoe. Look at this old hoe. Give me a second. See, this is why I don't like this. This is why I think that this whole ancestor thing is keeping us back as a community. Because watch this. Okay, give me a second. Here we go. Here we go.
Ooh, this is an old school video. Oh my goodness. How long ago this was? In the 80s?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Maya her views on interracial relationships.
Oh, thank you. And first, I'm Miss Angelo.
Miss
Yes,
Angela.
ma'am. I'm not Maya. I'm 62 years old. I have lived so long and tried so hard that a young woman like you or any other you have no license to come up to
Excuse
me
me.
and call me by my first name.
Excuse me.
That's first. That's first. Also, because at the same time, I am your mother, I'm your auntie, I'm your teacher, I'm your professor. You see?
Hold up. Hey, you muted, bro. I can't hear you.
The reason why I love exposing the ancestors and exposing idiosyncrasies about our race is because I think that our race is behind because of these idiosyncrasies. Look at this woman right here. She's done nothing of scientific achievement, nothing of technological achievement, nothing of medicine. She's done nothing in the medical field. She's done nothing to propel our race into the 22nd century. But she's trying to tell this young little pretty little black girl who's a freshman in college somewhere that, oh, you need to respect me because of my existence because I'm older than you. See, that's
Yeah,
primitive shit. And that's what's keeping the
exactly.
black man behind. Now,
Exactly.
again, when I'm around white people, they don't call. I mean, unless the white kid is working, his boss is a old white man. He ain't calling some 60-something-year-old white poet Mister Something just to do it, you know.
Hmm.
And so I showed this because I was trying to argue a point the last time I did this video. Now, Maya Angelou, for the most part, she was a very bad person, and and just like black people, well, everybody can be redeemed and forgiven. Well, if that's the case, then why don't you forgive? Okay, so the prostitute chick in your neighborhood, you don't treat her with respect. You don't treat the strawberry with respect. So the fact that this woman was a sex trafficker, which is one of the most horrific things you can do, you mean to tell me because she wrote some poetry later on in life that she's redeemable? That's the problem within our community. What say you, sir?
Hmm. I and I believe that is very selective,
Hmm.
based on a person's social status within
Yeah.
the black community. Just as the same example you used about your prostitute. Now, if she didn't do nothing that's considered redeemable, like for us, my Angelou case, that yeah, they'll talk down on her. Same concept about a person who's homeless, who's homeless, or the same concept about a person who's strung out or judged too in our community. They don't
Yeah.
treat them with respect as well, but let that same person do something that they consider as redeemable in the community. You know what I'm saying? That, oh yeah, we love him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
first you didn't love him first when he's out
Yeah.
there on the street begging for money. You
Yeah.
know?
It's just like I made the example. You have a great point. I made the example about Pinky. You know, we all know who Pinky is. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We know who Pinky is, or Cherokee. Could you imagine if Cherokee started writing poetry at 60 and started to demand respect from people? We'd be like, what? Pinky, stop it. Cherokee, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
You're full of shit. You can't sell that old pussy anymore, and now you're doing some poetry. I know why I can't. Listen, ain't nothing impressive about a damn poem about a fucking bird. Stop it. And so the thing of the matter is that we as a community, the only way that we're going to thrive is that we start embracing the stems, start embracing those types of concepts, embracing this ancestor shit, embracing the past. I think what will keep us behind. Go ahead, sir. You got the floor.
Well, let me give you a different perspective about it,
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
Oh,
Let me give you
no,
a
go ahead,
different perspective, right? So let's say that we go back to the original concept of this, is that they're using the ancestors as a narrative to build up the community, all right?
Sure.
Let's say that hypothetically speaking, this is what we need to do to inspire people. Now, if that be the case, and we just only viewing it as that only, would it be beneficial to keep that within the black community?
Absolutely. The ancestors that are worth, okay, the white man, they will revere their best. So you ever hear white men, like I'm talking about older white men generally, when they talk about the founders, you know, or they talk about the presidents, they talk about people like that, they revere them because they, truth be told, they're worthy to be revered. They created this country, the country that we have benefited off of, etc. I can understand that. But the average white man, he ain't about to revere his third uncle who was a I hate to say this, but who was just a common man who lived 100 years ago. That person will be forgotten. So we need to start doing that. We need to start revering the ancestors that are important. And if we do that, then yes, I will say yes to your answer. But if we're just revering people because there's some old Negroes, then no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
Yeah,
Neil deGrasse. Go ahead.
Then also that goes to your point as well, where I made a reference to that people be selective about what they're trying to do based on your point. That's exactly what you're doing as well. You're being selective about.
I am.
Okay, these set of ancestors, this is who we're going to rock with because they did X, Y, Z. But however, these set of ancestors, because they're in this situation, we're not going to rock with them. Forget them.
Absolutely. Again, if we're going to talk about black people that I think that should be respected because of their achievements in age, Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is rarely talked about in the black community.
That's
white
true.
People love Neil deGrasse. Neil. That whites love Neil deGrasse Tyson. But black people, who that? Who Neil? Who Neil deGrasse Tyson? See, but Neil deGrasse Tyson, he needs to have a statue when he passes away. He needs to have a fucking state funeral by the black community when he passes away. But what I'm saying is that you don't really hear about people like that.
Yeah,
and
but we'll instantly hear about Nipsey Hussle, huh?
But Nipsey Hussle, yeah.
I mean, but then again, that's what we still going back to is it's very selective in our community. We only look at people that that's beneficial to us. However way we view it as being beneficial, whether it's financially beneficial or they're entertaining us beneficial, any of these type of factors. That's how we look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Let me look at the chat real quick. Let me see who's in here. Let me see. Ryan Pump says, didn't Labuto say that Still I Rise, Maya Angelou poem changed his life? Never, sir. Maya Maybach Music says, all of this ancestor worshiping hasn't done a thing for the Black community. It just makes them live in their victimhood. Seven Still said, facts, Labuto. It's honest. It's the truth. And the fact of the matter is, it's keeping us behind. And if you're going to worship any ancestor, and you're going to look at any ancestor for hope, look at the ones who've achieved something. For example, the gentleman, I got one for you, Ronald McNair. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
Ronald McNair was he was the black astronaut who was killed on the Challenger disaster in 1986.
I heard about that. I heard about it.
Yeah, the man was a genius. Go ahead.
Yeah, because the name sound familiar to me, but I didn't know exactly who it was until you explained it to me. I was like, oh, okay, him, okay.
Yeah. Walk down the street and ask any black person, hey, nigga, hey, do you know who Ron McNair is? Who that nigga? Who Ron McNair? Nigga, I don't know no Ron McNair, nigga. See, ask them.
Labuto, you muted. Hey, you muted, brother.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, man, what's going on with StreamYard? StreamYard sitting up here trying to censor you.
No, I actually hit my microphone when I was doing all this. Yeah, I actually hit it. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We don't hear about these types of ancestors. You know, Ronald McNair, man, was a mathematical genius, fucking astronaut. Ask a black chick, hey, black chick, do you know who Macy Jameson? Ask him. Ask him. I agree with you on that. If the ancestor is worthy of adoration, not worship, but adoration, then yes.
Yeah.
But if there's some old hoe who sold pussy and couldn't sell any pussy after she turned old and started writing some poetry, stop it. And then had the nerve to check that black girl talking about I could be your mother. Maya Angelou, you didn't like black men, so how could that black girl be your damn daughter?
Absolutely.
You got to start calling these fucking these bullshitters out for what they are.
Absolutely, and I agree with that also too. There's nothing wrong with admiration. There's nothing wrong with even having hope. You know what I'm saying? Because hope creates accountability as well too, where you have to be inspired by them to want to do something that'll be revolutionary for yourself and for your community. But if you're just only looking at them just to worship them only, then you're always gonna be left behind. That's once again I reference back with religion. I have nothing against religion, but however, it's just the whole purpose of how the way it's being used. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they use religion as a scapegoat to escape from their current reality of accountability, what they need to deal with life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But others use religion as a moral compass to give them balance so they could stay focused on their God-given talent and their goals and ability that they need to do for themselves, for their family, and for their community. Likewise with the ancestor. It should be the same exact way.
Yeah, I agree, man. And you know, I hope the people in the bushes, I hope that you're mad. I hope that you're pissed off at me. I hope that you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get Labuto. No, you're not. The fact of the matter is that we have a serious problem in the Black community, and the problem is this ancestor worshiping nonsense. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop. You know, every Black person who dies isn't damn good. Every Black person who has ever lived isn't damn good or good enough for that. Oh yeah, that's my ancestor. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, or every Black person that you read about didn't do what exactly it was. You know, my next exposing the ancestors is going to be the true story of Emmett Till. And that I'm going to talk about how Emmett Till's uncle was a punk. Do you know the story of Emmett Till and his uncle?
No, I do not. I do not.
Emmett Till, we all know who Emmett Till is. Emmett Till went down to, I forgot what part of, was it Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
He was staying with his uncle and his cousins. Whatever happened at that on that street with that white girl, whether they were inside talking to her, whether she was talking back, whatever transpired, her husband and her husband's brother went to that house. Her uncle, or Emmett Till's uncle, allowed those white men to come in there and take that little boy away. And nobody in history ever says that that man was a punk for that. He was a fucking punk for that. He was, and people can argue and say, well, he was 60. Man, I know some 60-year-olds now that will knock out a 25, 30, 35-year-old now.
Yep.
I know
slug them out.
I know some 60-year-olds that'll put some hot ones in you.
Mm-hmm.
And you mean to tell me that this Negro allowed, I'm gonna expose it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you will see people saying, oh, he was a great man. No, he wasn't. Because here goes the argument that people have for him. He was a great man because he saved the lives of the other people there. Because if he would have not told them who Emmett Till was, that white man could have killed everybody. Now, you niggas will sit out there and fight your motherfucking cousins in the damn street, but you're going to let these two white men come there and do what they did. And that's some dumb shit, too. Now, let me tell you something, official urban therapist, and this is the reason why I'm going to expose this nigga. Let a black man had come at 2 o'clock in the morning to come get Emmett Till. It would have been a shootout between his uncle and that other nigga. Now, let's stop. Let's stop the fucking bullshit. So this is what I'm saying. When people say, "Oh, he's an ancestor," no, he's a punk, and he was a punk. I don't give a fuck if he was a punk, and that is what it is. Go ahead, sir.
But what was the name of that other guy that recently died that started this whole Black Lives Matters crap? I forgot his name already. What's the name of that guy? He got choked out by the police.
George Floyd.
Yeah, George Floyd. Yeah, I actually did a video almost 2 or 3 years ago. I did a video about George Floyd, and I was telling people the reality about George Floyd. I was telling him about his criminal history. I was telling him the whole purpose why he was at this store and everything, which led to the events of him happening the way they happened. Now, before I give the statement, what happened to him, that shouldn't have happened at all with the law enforcement.
Right.
I totally agree with that. But however, when it came to the point where the black community was sit up here revering him in a way that he needs to be worshipped and all the stuff there, I don't agree with that. I don't
agree with it either.
Because he was just a normal man. That's all he was, with a criminal history. But when I made that live almost nearly went viral. And people was calling me all type of coons and everything about it. But I was being truthful about the whole situation. I was speaking the truth about it. And likewise, the reason why I'm referencing that is because that's the exact same way how we do for us with our ancestors. So there'll be some ancestors, they don't deserve to be worshipped because they had a horrible history. But it has been painted with this real nice picture and stuff, you know what I'm saying, to make it seem like they're good people, but that really wasn't. That really wasn't for the people. That wasn't down for the movement.
No, they weren't. And the thing is that George Floyd was you already know.
Mm-hmm.
He was a 2-time felon. He was a violent criminal. He wasn't even just a criminal. He was a violent criminal.
Absolutely.
The man was damn near 7 feet tall. The man was on drugs. The man was resisting arrest. And you are correct. He didn't deserve to die. Nobody really deserves to die. But the fact of the matter is that everything he did in his life led up to that day. And the truth of the matter is that we allowed a terroristic group, Black Lives Matter, to destroy city after city,
Facts.
looting, robbing, committing all types of acts of violence over a man who didn't give a fuck about the black community. And
Facts.
this is the tragedy of this ancestor worship, this community worshiping aspect. And this is the tragedy of it. It's not like the cops pulled over Neil deGrasse Tyson and Neil deGrasse Tyson was fucked up or whatever. They pulled. Listen, the man was a degenerate, and I know people call me coons for saying this, but we have to be like the Jews. We have to be like the Japanese, if we're ever gonna be a superior culture. And look at their cultures. They don't revere people like this in their culture.
Not
And
at
could
all.
there be a correlation between the reason why they're successful and other cultures are not successful? Could that be a correlation? I don't know. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, once again, I agree. Every other culture, they don't do what we do as a culture. You know what I'm saying? And what we do is obviously holding us back. There are many Chinese, Japanese culture right now. You could go into different cities around the United States that they have their own personal land. Period. But we don't.
Yeah.
They have their own personal establishment, businesses, but we don't. They rely on each other to support and to survive.
Yeah.
We don't. Instead of us doing it, we have this what is known as a crab in the barrel mentality, where we always have to one up each other every single
Yeah.
moment, every
Yeah.
single day.
Agreed. Yeah. If anybody wants to cam up, the link is dropped. Maybach Music said facts. Yeah. Yeah.
You-
Now, yeah. And
But
and
yeah,
again,
yeah. Well,
you got the floor.
your boy Rush, yeah, he put me onto your show, bro. So
Okay. Have you seen the other show I have?
no, I haven't. But I'm start looking at your content because I see
Okay.
it's a lot of stuff that I got to catch back up on. So I could come back up here and I can have these conversations with you, whether
Okay.
I agree with it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Come to the Chaotic Truth Live. That's my main channel as well.
Okay, facts. So I do that.
Chaotic Truth Live. Yep.
Yeah, I do that for sure. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure I'm sub to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I'll
So
definitely pull it up.
so if anybody's old in the chat, anybody who's a boomer or an Xer, I know you guys are mad, the people who are always in the bushes. I know there's one particular guy he's an older guy. He hates me. He hates me because I have my own opinions. He hates me because I don't have the same monolithic viewpoints that he has.
Hmm
But I want you to know, I'm talking to the guy because he's listening. His name begins with an R. I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that I don't give a fuck. And I want you to know that if your feelings are hurt, I want your pillow tonight to be soaked with tears to show you how much I don't care. I'm not here to make people feel good. I'm here to tell you my truth. And the fact of the matter is that learning about all these people, revering Harriet Tubman, has done nothing for the black community. If we focus on the scientists, the mathematicians, the people who are in the STEMs, I bet you, we will be further than what we are right now. Look at the Indians. Look at the East Indians. They don't come to this country wearing their traditional garbs. They don't come to this country talking about the Dalit system. They don't come to this country talking about ancient Hindu practices. They come to this country and they thrive here because they know that the new age is coming. That age is the STEMs. They focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
And look at their culture. They don't come here talking about their ancient ancestor who lived 300 years ago in India. They don't do shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. If they do, it's because they have a ancient ancestor who was royal or so. Oh yeah, my ancient ancestor was Genghis Khan. I don't know if Genghis Khan was Indian, but that's the only reason why you should ever mention somebody who's ancient. Other than that, talking about your ancestors don't mean anything. Oh man, my ancestor, my ancestor. Shut up. Who cares? Your ancestor was a simple farmer in the rural hills of Europe or in Africa or in Asia. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully somebody says that about me one day, and somebody says that about you. I don't know how you want to be revered, but hopefully we all listen. We ain't nothing special about Labuto. And I hope that my descendants look at me one day and say, man, my ancient ancestor was a primitive man. And I'm so glad that we are more advanced than they are. That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At least in
Absolutely.
my opinion.
Absolutely, and that's a concept that I actually teach my children as well.
Yeah.
I teach them that, hey, y'all should be striving to be better than me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know I'm good. I know I'm good.
Yeah.
But y'all should always be striving to be better than me. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way you're going to survive in this world.
Yeah.
It's for you always to strive to be better. Then once when you have children, you should be teaching them the same exact concept. They should be even better than you. So,
Yeah.
but because in other words, this is teaching you to evolve, to have this form of evolution. That's what it's teaching. Period.
Listen, when I got to college, for the first time ever, I realized that I was oppressed. You know why? Because the black teachers there, the African studies teachers, they taught us that we were oppressed. But looking back at it, we weren't oppressed. I grew up in a very nice house, very nice community. My parents were there every single day. But it wasn't until I got around these black ass Pan-African teachers who said, oh, you know you oppressed and yada, yada, yada. That's when. You got to get away from these people. You got to get away from these pro-blacks, these blacks who beat on drums, talking about the ancestors. If you are in that much love with Africa, move to Liberia, move to Niger, move to South Sudan. Quit this nonsense, especially you black women. Don't cut your damn hair off and start beating on some drums, wearing some African hoop earrings, talking about you are an Orisha an Orisha priest. Stop that shit.
I would start talking about they Shun descendants and everything too.
Beating on drums ain't did shit for the African. The African got conquered because he was beating on some damn drums.
Hey, let me tell you. Let me tell you this too. That oppressed thing is behavior, bro. That's behavioral thinking based on they'll say because it's based on the territory that you're in or where you stay at. But I had to beg to differ on that. The reason why is because I came when I grew up. I came from a home area where it's considered as poverty area. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Where the conditions wasn't very good. But however, my parents never thought about our area as being poverty. They thought that the area that we was living in was the best area possible. So they taught us the same concept, like, hey, what you living there, it's a good area. Every area has its good and its bad. Every area has its crime. Every area has, stupid people. But it's who you make the area to be. You know what I'm saying? So that whole oppressed mindset, all it is, that's a behavioral thinking. It's people who are wealthy right now who have an oppressed mentality because it's a behavior.
I can agree with that. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking something up real quick, okay? The ancestors. And I'll tell you something about, remind me of poetry real quick. I'm just looking up something real quick, brother. Give me 1 second. Just looking up something real quick. Because I want to talk about this whole poetry thing, too.
Yeah, I subbed up to your own channel, too, by the way.
Thank you very much, sir. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. I tell you somebody else who to avoid too. You want to avoid these blacks who are into that poetry too. You know the ones I'm talking about. You know the ones that let me see. The ones who are like um I said hi. What is higher? What is higher learning? See, you want to avoid those types
Hmm.
of blacks too.
Yeah,
If you're yeah,
yeah, hit that verse. Talking about higher learning for the
yeah, yeah.
skies.
You
Blossom
wanna
in.
avoid all that nonsense as well. You know, those types of blacks. Oh man, dude, yeah. And so I am an agent of solutions for the black community because I know how to fix the black community, and I really do. I know a lot of it can be brutal, but fixing the black community, you have to first look in the mirror at yourself and
Hmm.
you have to say, what makes me this way? What can I do to be a better human being? You know, and I feel like when we start doing that as a people, man, we will be a people who are just unstoppable.
Hmm.
And the thing of the matter is that the ancestor concept is holding us back, I believe. This worship of older people is holding us back. That's one thing I can't stand about the black community. Oh, that's Mr. Charlie up the street. Well, who the fuck is Mr. Charlie? Man, that's just Mr. Charlie. Is he a scientist? Is he published? What the fuck has he done? Oh man, I just known him since I been a little kid, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, nigga. So what? So fucking what? What did he provide? Did he set up a fund for you? Did he set up some sort of fortune for you? Who the fuck is he?
Hmm.
He's just some old nigga.
Yeah. You got to be realistic too
Yeah,
about
go ahead.
the mirror report because that mirror report that creates the accountability.
Yeah,
Realistically speaking, people do not want to put into the work to hold themselves accountable because they feel like that how the way they are, people should accept them accordingly. They feel like that there's nothing wrong with their belief nor their behavior.
yeah,
That's how the way they honestly feel. But me, like with my platform, I always talk about accountability on my platform in
yeah,
different ways every single time. You know what I'm saying? When I'm placing the shift on that particular person that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Where it causes accountability.
yeah.
Accountability, it is tough. Accountability, it may hurt you, but at the end of the day, if you choose it, it is going to help you evolve to the best version of yourself, period.
I agree. I agree. Um, I think this has been a great stream. I think I want to end it here. If anybody wants to come up real quick, I'll wait about 2 or 3 more minutes. Go to the official Urban Therapist and please subscribe to his channel. For my haters that are in the bushes, please go to the Chaotic Truth Live for more uh, for more truth that comes off insulting to a small mind. Um, you know, I'm not saying that the white man is superior. I'm not saying that the Jew is superior. What I am saying is that there's nothing wrong with looking at other cultures and saying, why is this culture, why are they here and other groups of people are here? There's nothing wrong with that because here goes another thing. Black people openly talk about how better at sports we are to everybody, and everybody disagrees with it. You could be in the barbershop,
Hmm.
oh yeah, we're better naturally at sports.
Hmm. We're
Better
genetically
naturally, right?
built.
Yeah. So why is that a consensus? Why is that a consensus thought or consensus truth? But then when you say, well, Jews are better at money, oh man, that ain't true. Man, you generalize it. Well, didn't you just say that all blacks are better at sports? Well, you're
Hmm.
generalizing because I've met whites who are just as good at soccer and lacrosse and what about the other sports? Isn't can't you argue and say that whites are good at a lot of sports that blacks don't even play?
Hmm. There's
So
a There's a lot of things they generalize on. They say that blacks are better dancers than any other one groups.
Yeah. Well, that might be
Which
true. Niggas love dancing. That might be true. Niggas, that might be true. Niggas love dancing. You know, yeah. I just showed the hieroglyphs. Got the black women up there dancing half naked. Here, let me show you again. Let me show you again. Did you see it?
No, I just see it. Pull it up. Let's like
Yeah.
see it, bro.
Because me and my wife were arguing about this. Rush, give me 1 second, okay, buddy. Me and my wife were arguing about this a week ago. My wife showed me a video of some black women twerking at a school, talking about why are these parents twerking like this? And I said, Shauna, they are practicing an ancient mating ritual. Twerking. That's an ancient mating
Pretty much.
ritual of the Negro woman. They've been doing it for thousands of years. She said, what are you talking about? I said, Shauna, I can show you evidence of twerking that goes back 7,000 years ago. I'm gonna show it right now. This is you can go to Egypt and see it for yourself on the hieroglyphs. Give me a second. Give me a second. Bam. Those look like black bitches to me with braids.
Yep.
They half naked. They're twerking. What are they doing?
Yep. Absolutely. Ain't no denying that at all, bro.
They're shaking that ass. They were doing it 7,000 years ago. The black man who drew that, he like, damn, these bitches. And you gotta think that was their form of entertainment. They over there twerking half naked.
But playing the drums on do 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 do
Yeah.
do do do.
Rush would say you, sir. The Harriet Tubman saved your ancestors. Keep it real.
Hell no. But y'all, I just want to say this dialogue is straight up fire. I mean, you bringing the heat over here, man. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Yeah.
This is definitely a subject matter that needs to be discussed, man, because our people, they kind of like just fall for anything. I mean, and it's time for us to wake up and start, calling shit out for what it really is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yo, Urban, what's good with you, man?
What it do, Rush? State
Salute. State gang.
Now, Rush, this is on the hieroglyphs in Egypt. What are those black women doing, sir? Keep it real.
Twerking.
Ain't nothing new under the sun, sir. Nothing new.
But now they say they wrong though. Why they made that booty like that?
What do you mean? Like what? What do you mean?
Man, you know good and well black woman got that the dunk back there.
Sir, believe it or not, sir. If you look at old photos of Africans, if you look at a lot of artwork, the African was always skinny. And to be completely honest with you, even in very primitive countries like Sudan and stuff like that, the women are super thin. And that's another thing about our people. It's like when did this whole stereotype of this thickness? I will agree. Ghanaian women and Nigerian women tend to be thicker, but most African women are thin. I mean, most African women I've ever met are just all thin.
With a bit the dunk back there, bro. Come on now, bro. You can't do it like that now, bro. You can't do it like that.
You gotta understand. My wife is thin. I'm a smaller guy. I like thin women. I don't like fat asses. I've never gotten into that. But go ahead. That's to each his own, though. That's if you like a bitch with a fat ass. But see, you gotta remember the Egyptians. They drew what they saw. So the Egyptians drew women who were native Egyptian. They drew Nubian women, and they were all thin. I've never seen any fat women.
And to be honest with you, that actually is true. I'm teasing you, but that actually is true. I met a lot of different Egyptian women that the majority of them are thin. Yeah, but it's over here in this Western culture where
we're eating all this food thicker. Over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're eating all this food, and black women again, they don't work out. Truth be told, a lot of women don't work out, and a lot of men don't work out. But the fact of the matter is that this has been a great stream, and please come to the Chaotic Truth, or please come back over here, man.
For sure. Hey, I appreciate you inviting me up. This was a really good dialogue for real. I enjoyed
Absolutely, man. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
it. You too.
Yep, guys, I'm about to get the hell up out of here. Let me see. Key Dead Man says, Labuto, you're giving false information. Key Dead Man, please feel free to cam up. I don't mind, your point of view. I have a few more minutes if you don't mind. So cam up, hit the StreamYard link. I just put it right in there. Just hit that StreamYard link and please cam up and tell me why I'm giving bad information. I don't mind you saying that in the chat, but I would like to know what false information am I giving, considering the fact that none of us were born in the 1800s, none of us were born during Jim Crow, none of us were born during Reconstruction. So I would like to know why you are so right and I am so wrong. I dropped the StreamYard for you, Key Dead Man. No, you don't have to cam up. You don't have to show your face. You could just hit the button and just talk, Let me see. Please, guys, go to the official Urban Therapist. Please watch his videos. Please subscribe to his channel. Please. Key Deadman says, I was born during those times. Key Deadman is obviously trolling. Key Deadman is a 17-year-old lonely kid who was born in 2005, who has absolutely no idea what they're talking about in terms of history. I can't listen to someone born after 9/11 giving me a history lesson. It ain't happening. You ain't telling me nothing about history. Mike from Boston says, you can't cam up because you can't argue your point. Ooh, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to say cammed up a little bit. I did say I was going to cam down, but I want to see who will cam up real quick. Let me see here. Excuse me. Let's see who's still here. Mike from Boston says, I want to see a drum beater cam up. Oh, wow. Key Dead Man, please cam up, man. I mean, all you can do is, you don't have to show your face. You can just talk. You don't have to, you have an avatar. See, it's just it works like this. Look, it'll just be an avatar. So cam up. Come on, man. You have a lot to say. I would like to hear your opinion. But I believe that you're about 17 or 18 years old. I believe that you don't know anything about history. And I believe that you were brainwashed to believe that a woman was killing bears and killing wolves and just walking the terrain with an Elmer Fudd musket. And she's just, I'm just walking around. I'm killing, a bear bow. I'm killing, a moose bow. Yeah, she killed moose too, a moose that's 12 feet tall, about 1,000 pounds. But she's just killing moose. Yeah, she was invincible. Yeah, she was invincible, right? Some things just don't make sense, man. They just don't. They don't make sense. And I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I really want to show you this, just to show you the scope, because you got to remember. You got to remember, guys. Make me turn this fine rental car around now. You got to remember this, man. Look at this. You guys and me, we've never seen these animals in real life. I saw a bear for the first time about 6 years ago when I was driving to DC, dead on the side of the highway. So a lot of us have never seen these animals in real life. Oh, I went to the zoo and saw them. You ain't never seen these animals in the wild. In the wild, these animals are twice the size of well, maybe not, because they get fed a lot. Well, I don't know. But let me show you something real quick. I just want to show you something real quick to prove my point. I want to show you something. And I'm going to get the hell up out of here. Look at this.
Big fella here. Wow, Kalia, look at him. He's huge. Hey there, bud. Hey there, bud. You gotta. No, I'm not gonna touch it. Hey there, bud. Hey there, got a beer there, bud, huh? You just gonna send it? Yeah? Okay. You just gonna send it there, eh, bud?
Ain't no way in hell. What's up, Eve? Give me a second. Ain't no way in hell a 5-foot woman. Imagine if that moose started tripping, and imagine if that moose was around other moose. Is it mooses? I don't know if you. I don't know how to say it. If it's a whole bunch of them, what is a gathering of moose? I'm just gonna say if there are other moose around. Those things are 2,000 pounds, and they will kill even the strongest man on the planet. So these people back then weren't magical people. I believe a lot of these people back. The reason why we have gun rights in this country wasn't for other humans at first. It was to kill these wild ass animals in this country when the colonists got over here. They saw these big ass animals. They said, "Oh shit!" And it was 50 of them. They weren't walking around by themselves, murking these big ass fucking crazy animals in America. See, the white man didn't have all these crazy animals in Europe. He had them when he came over here. He had to have gun laws. So I don't believe Harriet was by herself just shooting these things down. Now, it would be logical if it was 50 people around her and they all had guns. Yeah, that makes sense. But not one woman or not shit, maybe not even one man. Eve, what say you about all what I'm talking about? Go ahead.
Labudo, great to see you as always. You're looking phenomenal, especially from how you were looking earlier in your life.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Salute to the chat. Good to see everybody here tonight. Beautiful people out here. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here at the Labudo Network. And Eve, most important. I'm glad I was able to catch you because I was, indisposed with other endeavors, but I wanted to touch on your topic.
Sure.
Was Eve? Well, not see. I'm sorry, Eve. Which is the black? You can say like the black modern day Eve, which was Harriet Tubman, right?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. Was Harriet Tubman a fictitious character? Now, some of the the verbiage may be a bit folklore, right?
Yeah.
But we're not talking about a Paul Bunyan here. We're not talking about a David and Goliath here. We're talking about things that actually existed in American history, right? Things that we could foresee, things that have actual accounts, not by way of the European standard. Not to take anything away from you guys, right?
Go ahead.
All right. So with that in mind, let's just really just touch on here with our beloved Harriet Tubman. Now, you're saying that it was quite impossible for her to be able to, shoot people and do these things and free these slaves. And mind you, I'm coming in here on the back end. I just by way of your title. Okay?
Yeah.
That's it. But knowing who you are, I know you're going to debunk who she was. Okay.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
who you
Absolutely.
are.
Yeah.
Okay. A classic self-hating bigot.
Yeah.
But and I'm just playing. But let's talk about the accounts that have taken place with her. It was 4 times that we can account that. And while it may be just impossible to really believe, but it was 4 times that she went back and to free the slaves. 4 times that she went back with that little old gun that she had. You know where she tucked that gun at?
Where?
In a tree. She knew. You know where she had her points at? in a tree. She had her points in a tree, in a little hole in the tree. You know how they was able to get water? When it
How?
rained, they had the bucket. When they had the little bucket when it rained. So once they got to their little point, there's the different points that they got to. There were always little buckets right there, right?
It was
Where they could
bucket.
be able to get some nourishment, water,
Okay.
and things of that sort, right?
Okay. And
You
she
know
knew.
what? I'm serious.
No,
Because
I'm listening.
you guys are saying that this lady's a folklore. How is she able to be inducted into Congress? How was she one of the black members of Congress? You guys are saying this stuff.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You guys are saying this stuff, okay? And I am, and let me tell you, I don't. I'm no. I'm a conservative liberal. I'm, and that's just what I'm gonna say.
Okay, so continue. Okay, so you were going down
You're
the.
so quick to give you.
No,
You guys are so quick to off. If that makes any sense. Any of your people that
no.
have anything to do with
No.
American history, like
Eve,
that's so
Eve,
sad.
Eve, hold on a second. I was listening to you explain the outdoor aspect, the outdoorsman aspect of Harriet Tubman, and I would like to continue to hear it. So you're saying that she drank rainwater.
This and so did the slaves. You know what happened with
Go
the
ahead. I'm listening.
slaves that didn't want to continue forth with the liberation of freedom of slavery? You know what happened with them, right?
I do not. I was born in 1984. Go ahead.
83 over this way.
Okay, but what happened to the slaves that did not want to conform? Go ahead.
Guess what? I can't send you back over here and give us up. It only makes sense. I got to take you out
So she murdered other slaves.
because they had the potential to be able to give up people that were trying to free themselves.
Okay. Okay. So assuming that this happened, you're saying that it was justified for her to kill someone who did not want to continue the journey up north. Right?
Absolutely, because you know what has happened all the time.
I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
We have this term called Uncle Tom, which is not even the actual term, because the actual Uncle Tom was not the Uncle Tom. It was another man. Okay. Sure. We can get into that another day. Sure. But I'm not delusional. Okay.
No, we're listening.
Go ahead. I'm talking about somebody in the chat. I'm not delusional, sweetheart, but just pay attention. If you really know anything about your ancestral background, your American history, period, then you wouldn't say these things, because it's obvious that you didn't know. You're only watching Roots. You're only watching things of that sort. It goes beyond the spectrum.
I'm glad that you're on the panel. Let's take it back to just me and you. Let's okay.
I love you still. Let's
do this real quick, Eve. Let's do this.
That says enough.
Let's do this real quick. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
What?
You're not at liberty to call me a nigga, given that you are Eastern African.
Okay, Eve.
Yeah.
What would have happened, just out of the imagination, if Harriet Tubman had encountered some sort of, mountain lion, some sort of bear that, in an attempt to scare her away, injured her to the point where, let's say, they bit her. Generally, these animals aren't man-eating animals. Generally, these animals would attack you for just territory. What if, like, a mountain lion would have just, tore her leg apart, and it would have rendered her incapable of traversing the land? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you mean to tell me this woman was just perfect on every journey through the terrain, unknown terrain, wild animals, nothing ever happened to her. So she was just this perfect. Go ahead.
She knew the terrain. It wasn't anything unknown, which is why she was able to be able to cross those terrains.
She wasn't afraid of any animal attack.
Hold on. But let's say this. So you're saying people of the native land, indigenous people of this native land that had to endure such beasts for time and time again, and still do to this day. We just don't know because we're civilized beings, right?
Yeah. Well, the
But
natives just live on casino reservations now.
no, 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 not necessarily. We still have people right here that are still suffering right now, but we have no jurisdiction to them because that they have their own government.
Yeah.
So you can't say because you think all Native Americans are just able to see. That's a stereotype, and you need to watch yourself, sir. You need to be careful with that.
Okay. Okay.
Not all Native Americans are just living, in this, high societal means. They're not. There are still people of different tribes. This is like if you go to Nigeria, there are different tribes of Nigeria, right? And they don't live upon certain societal norms of Nigeria, of their country. They don't. Okay, so be careful saying such rhetoric.
Okay.
Now, all right, I will. Now, as it relates to Harriet Tubman,
sure.
How can we say that this woman, if she's endured such hardship, such bondage, such horrible things, she's had to hunt, she's had to see people do all kinds of sorts, and I'm not here to just be a person that's like trolling or anything like that, but it's really trying to be heartfelt about what these people had to do. Our people.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a woman do a pull-up or a chin up?
I have. Okay. There are many of those women that do that.
Okay. So
this question.
No, well, the reason why I was asking, because what I was trying to say is that if what is true, if Harriet Tubman is a true story, this would mean that this lady is one of the greatest outdoorsmen ever. And this would also mean that she also worked out. She exercised.
We have a lot of those outdoors.
She had to climb trees.
You have to answer your own questions, sweetheart.
Right. So what I'm saying is that if this woman existed, that means that we have to look at it like that. So you mean to tell me she worked out as well?
Congress. Go look it up. She's there in the House of Congress.
Okay.
She's in Congress. Go look it up. Like this is nothing of, why are you guys making this thing? And the only reason why I have a level of passion about this is because I have a friend. We were dear friends at one point in our lives. He's rather older, but he's an artist, and he has close relations to the representative of South Carolina, helping to try to really push the $20 bill with for Harriet Tubman.
Now, let me ask you this question: do you honestly believe that Harriet Tubman should be on the $20 bill?
I absolutely do. Why do you think there should be all kind of fine white men on the $20 bill?
I think that if they are going to put a black woman on the $20 bill, it probably should.
You would rather it be Hattie McDaniel on the $20.
I would rather it be Macy Jameson. I would rather it even be Oprah Winfrey. Why put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill? Come on.
I'm going to give you more credit than I would even give you. I would have thought you would have said Hattie McDaniel for the $20 bill.
Why would we put Hattie McDaniel, a big fat black woman?
Because she is what you represent in modern day society. Absolutely.
Go ahead. You got the floor.
All right. So, I love you, Labuto. It's all love. You walk yourself right into these things, but
okay.
You do. I am no liberal, and by no means, okay? There are certain things that I can withstand and I cannot in certain capacities as it relates to this great nation. But as it relates to history.
Go ahead.
This is why I've had an argument with you earlier on. Okay, because it's the rhetoric like this that you use.
When Harriet, okay. Let's just say, for example, Harriet Tubman did exist. let's just say, for example, she may have freed some slaves. It's the attraction level that gets me. You're gonna put, I mean, let's be honest. Harriet Tubman was not an attractive woman. And you're gonna put this woman's face on a $20 bill. It's almost mocking black women. Like they're gonna put this woman who looks disheveled
Oh my
in
God.
most of those pictures on
Oh
a
my-
$20 bill. Come on.
You know what?
No, I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be trolling. I'm being dead serious. Go ahead. Go
Let
ahead.
me stop you right there.
Go ahead. You
The
got the
beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I've actually looked at people that were top 15 beauties of the world, right? We've seen people that come by way of the Congo that is not beauty in our American standards, in our Western standard of things. But some of
Go ahead. Go ahead. You got the floor. This is what you want on the $20 bill.
what a beautiful black woman that she is. Okay. But you would rather have a white man,
I-
white men wearing wigs. Okay. Look,
Those.
oh, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the floor. Go
You
ahead.
you just slammed that one on me. Okay. I wasn't prepared.
That is a picture of Harriet Tubman. Go ahead.
That was inappropriate to do.
It was inappropriate for me to put up a picture of Harriet Tubman after you
Yeah,
just
just
said
like
that
you
she
just
should
slammed that on me because I'm like, what's going on?
be. Go ahead. You got the floor.
Okay. So what a beautiful being she was.
Go ahead. You got the floor.
There are younger pictures of her, but anyway, let me get back to my point. I have a close friend in southern regions of the Americas and that have advocated to get this her dollar bill, and actually is painted her dollar bill and had it actually nationally embedded in so we can be able to get this motion going. Okay.
You got the floor.
I hopefully one time, because he and I are in a place right now, but I would love for him to really, because this is his passion. Harriet Tubman, right now, this topic is his passion.
Yeah.
But to just say that this woman has done nothing, that would take away from everybody. That you would have to just discredit Alex Haley's stories. You would
You
have
are
to.
aware that Alex Haley himself admitted that most, if not all, of Roots was
But
fiction. Right?
nevertheless, I was about to
Okay.
say, it's a lot of it's fictional, but nonetheless, it has a lot of validity to it. Okay.
I agree. So why not present, like I said earlier, and see, this is why I would, I can't wait until you go and watch what I said the first hour of the show. It would be great if a lot of these stories were told as fictional accounts, like hero movies. Like, oh, the hero Harriet Tubman, like a Marvel character. I can understand that. That's what whites generally do with their heroes. Zeus.
Like, why would
Thor.
you?
I beg
Why
your
would
pardon?
you want? Why would you want black people to be displayed as something that they're not?
Because I'm
Don't
gonna
have
say,
them like. So you
Steve,
want us to be? Allow me to finish. You want
okay.
us to be the Paul Bunyan of American society.
Because that's what Harriet Tubman is to me. I believe that Harriet Tubman was a
She's
story.
real. Paul Bunyan is real.
Eve, hear me out for a minute. You believe that Harriet Tubman is real. I do not. That's
Do
nothing
you
wrong
believe
with that.
Paul Bunyan is real?
I said that Paul Bunyan was fictional, just like it is an accepted fact that he is a fictional character.
So you talked about Paul Bunyan?
What I'm saying is that at one point in time, the Greeks used to believe that Thor, that Zeus existed. Now you see these characters in Marvel movies as superheroes now. So what I'm saying is that what if black people used common sense and said, wait a minute, maybe Harriet Tubman is not real, but you know what? To further immortalize her, we accept her as a fictional hero. Because in all honesty, there is no way that me as a man can accept the fact that this woman was traversing the land, the terrain by herself with the Elmer Fudd musket. Most women right
Was
now
she
think
doing it by herself? She had the help of people. She had the help of real solid people. It's just like the modern day society. You cannot be able to create a gang without having soldiers, without having a capo, without having, a general, without having all these people. It takes a team to be able to make this union work. So that's what she had. And if people didn't understand or follow what her mindset was, just like the John Gottis, like the Gambinos, just like all of these people,
what
these
does the
white
mob have to do with
folklores
Harriet?
that you guys believe, excuse me, like these white folklores that you guys believe that because you can see it, because it was embedded, because you guys can be able to picturize it in American history, that you can't picturize the fact that there was a such thing as a Frederick Douglass, such thing as a George Washington Carver, or such thing as a Harriet Tubman. But you realize that there's a thing such as a Hattie McDaniel, a Dorothy Dandridge. You remember that these people exist. Come on, like we can't.
Again, whether they existed or not, there is a logistical question that needs to be addressed and answered. The fact of the matter is that Eve, you and I both know that you've taken road trips before with your family. How many times did you guys stop and use the bathroom, stop and eat, stop and do all these things? The human body needs certain resources throughout a 24-hour cycle. The fact that this woman, where we're told that this woman was traversing the territory multiple times, going from state to state to state, just walking, it does not make sense from a logistical standpoint. First of all, I've ran marathons before.
How does it not make sense from a logistical standpoint? Allow me to finish. It didn't take her just like 4 days to be able to cross a passage.
It took her months.
It took her months. You get what I'm saying? So how do you say that? You're answering your own question.
So how did she survive? That's the question I'm asking. How did she survive for months? Do you mean to tell me that this woman hunted every single day and was successful every day at hunting by herself?
They had to be able to, in this time, guess what slaves were doing? So you're saying that slaves had to be able to take the back end of what their owners was eating. Like they didn't have a lot. They worked in the passage and everything like that. And they had to nibble on everything. They had bread. They survived on bread and water, the water that came from the trees and things of the sort. Like I understand that you guys have your own perception of history, but don't sit up here and degrade or try to say that somebody else having a whole depiction of something makes them crazy. Because
I never said that.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people in the chat, because I can guarantee you that I'm more of a historian than this particular person that's in the chat having more things to say.
You have a baccalaureate in history?
I'm more of a historian. I do not. I have a master's in counseling psychology. That's what I do have. Okay.
From what school? If you don't mind me asking.
I won't do that here.
Oh, okay. I got you. Did you pledge? Keep it real.
I won't answer that either.
Okay. Did you go to PWI?
I won't answer that.
Okay.
I won't answer any questions. All I'm going to let you know is that I attended a university at both things, and I'm not going to answer any questions about anything.
That's fine. So you believe that Harriet Tubman existed. You believe that she freed slaves, and you also believe that she should be on the 29th bill.
Go ahead. I was about to go get my degrees, but I'm like, I don't have to.
You don't have to.
No, I'm about to go do that. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. So you believe that this woman existed, and you believe that she freed slaves, and you believe that there is everything about the story is real. But here goes the thing. I don't believe anything about
the story is real. I believe that Harriet Tubman is in fact real. I believe that some of the things that has been embedded in American history and all along her accounts are real. Now, so as far as she, whatever else they're saying, I don't know. Whatever you might believe her perception of her is. There's many people who say, oh, this is the man that climbed the tallest tree. He was a 10 foot tall, and he was the person who was the only person that was able to do these things.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you guys have to stop this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so saddening, especially when it comes from people that are of our own, you know, tone,
Yeah.
that have this sort of attitude about their
What
own
attitude?
people.
What attitude is that?
It's like if things are impossible. Say
Well,
for
you-
instance,
Yeah. Go
hold on,
ahead.
let me to finish. If we didn't live in a world of technology,
Mhm.
excuse me, like we do today, would
Yeah.
we have known there's some historical figures, even by the 90s, that we didn't even know that really had some stuff popping in our own culture? There's a lot of things that Tupac did. There was a lot of things that
What did
happened.
Tupac do, by the way?
Well, you know, whatever. But
No, Eve. Wait a minute. Eve, wait a minute.
I'm
You
making
brought
a
up
No.
Tupac. You
no,
brought up Tupac. What did Tupac
did.
do?
he was a revolutionary in his own right.
And what did he revolutionize?
You know what? I really, you know, liberation, black
Black
liberation.
people weren't liberated when Tupac was a
To a
rapper in
degree.
the
To
90s.
a degree. Have you not listened to his albums?
Oh, wait, let me get this straight. In the 1990s, when me and you were at 10 and 11 when he died, right? Or I think I was 12 when he passed away.
But do you not remember all
Wait
the
a
things
minute.
that
You
he
mean to
was
tell me
saying?
that you were
He was
Eve,
contrary.
your family was in bondage when Tupac?
No, I'm
Okay.
making a point. I'm
You
making
said he was a revolutionary. He
I'm-
liberated people.
I'm making a point. There's
Okay.
things that we know about him.
What
You
did he
understand?
do? What did he
But the
do?
things that, but see, that's to say, is to also say, what did freaking Harriet Tubman do? But we know for actual accounts, these people that lived in these certain centuries know, and it's been accounted for
Okay.
what Harriet Tubman did.
Okay.
You
Can
can't
I-
say that
Eve, can I
because
say
you're
this?
asking what Tupac did.
No, you brought up Tupac. I'm trying to figure out what
Because you're
you-
asking me. You're asking me.
I didn't bring up
I don't
Tupac.
like, you know what? I don't like the term crazy because I am a professional that deals in the realms of mental health, and I don't appreciate that word.
Okay.
So no, allow me to finish. So if you really need to change your rhetoric, okay? Change your rhetoric, because if you knew better, you would do better. You don't call people crazy, okay? And that just shows that you have no idea in what realm you exist of to call anybody crazy. Because are you in a position to clinically assess someone to call them crazy? Are you? Like, change your rhetoric,
Are
sir.
you talking about what Rush said to you?
You sound ridiculous. Stop calling people crazy. That's one thing. I don't even call my own consumers crazy. Like, that's that's ridiculous. It's absurd. And
Do
you,
you
sir,
own your own agency, by the way?
I don't have my own practice at the moment. I do not.
Okay. Can I ask you a
That's
question?
ridiculous
Okay.
to say things of that
can I
sort.
say
I
real
can't
quick?
stand, because that just really shows that he has nothing of substance going on.
Can I ask
No,
you a-
that's what you do.
Eve,
I won't sit up
can
here
you
and
focus here?
tolerate
Eve,
that.
can we-
And you know, and being that I'm an advocate of people of mental health, I won't sit up here and be in attendance with people that keep on using the term crazy.
Okay, Eve, can me and you just talk?
That
without
is
you-
not a clinical diagnosis. That is not a clinical diagnosis. Okay. You won't sit up here and disrespect the institution. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. So if they're going to keep on doing that, I'm going to gracefully bow out. These people are weird.
Well, you know how the chat is.
You know what? Come up here right quick, because you know what?
Rush,
I can get in a whole nother thing with these people, but what you won't do is sit up there and call people that
Rush.
maybe
Don't call her crazy. So come up on the panel, Rush.
they may be going through some mental health disparities. Come up here and tell me that. Come up here and tell me.
Cam up for a minute, Rush.
Come up here, Keith Deadman. You tell me that Keith. Who is this? You a fat bitch. You over here trying to tell somebody bye, bitch. You a fat, nasty, black, spot-faced ass bitch. That's what you are. Let's go with you right quick. Casanova, Karasaraka, African booty scratching ass bitch. You. Let's get your big fat ugly ass up here too. I want Casey up here. I want all you big fat ugly ass fucking motherfuckers, anchor babies. It looks like what the fuck y'all are. Okay, I came up here in fucking peace. Did I not, Labudo? I came up here. Now these motherfuckers wanted with me. You know what I'm saying? These ugly motherfuckers, you broke ass, dusty ass, no good ass, Fucking take care of your fucking kids. But this bitch right here, bitch, you an old fat bitch hating on a young, beautiful, educated queen. Look at this with your dusty ass shirt. You got this nasty ass fucking wig on. You with this fucking brown ass lipstick and these dusty ass eyelashes. You bitch, you. Get the fuck up off the set, please. Go on somewhere and mind the business that pay your big fat ass, okay? Now, come up here, make mock music. Make mock music. You ain't got a picture, okay? But I know your life is miserable as the fuck, okay? That's why you here every day, listen to a bunch of ribberish, okay? Yeah, stand up. Bitch, please. You 400 pounds easy. Bitch, go look me up. I ain't got to do none of that. I ain't got to do none of that. But you a big, fat, nasty single hoe. That's what the fuck you are, bitch. Now I'm on y'all bitch ass. And I'm gonna be up on y'all bitch ass every fucking time. But I see you, my 600-pound life ass bitch. Now, anybody hit up, get the panel. I don't want to even argue no more. I don't want to argue no more. Bitch, I don't even dream about Pac, bitch. The fuck? You sound stupid as the fuck, bitch. I dream about money. Something you'll never know nothing about, you bottom feeder. You'll never know nothing about that, you fucking fucking greens and fucking ham hock eating ass bitch, you. Bitch, you'll never know about the good life. Yo, dumb ass. Get the fuck up here. Or if y'all in the comment section being comment warriors, none of that shit mean nothing to me, okay? No, I don't have to be professional. She's unprofessional, but you in the comment section having all this shit to say about me. Shut your dumb black crispy ass up. Crispy black looking ass bitch. When your next tour, bitch, you? Shut your ugly ass up. You ugly as fuck, and I bet you stink. You a stinky short bitch. That's what the fuck you are. Next, who else up here? Who else has something to say about Debo? Nigga, who else? I'm on y'all bitch ass. Pull they bitch ass up, Labudo. Pull them up. If y'all motherfuckers ain't about to come up here and hit this panel and debate me, then you motherfuckers are out. Then y'all way. Bricks broke, please. Bitch, please. I ain't never got no fucking online masters. I wish I did. I wish I had on the luxury of rolling around in a wheelchair like you. I wish I had the luxury of rolling around in a fucking hover around like you to get my fucking degrees, bitch. And you ain't even get that, bitch. Your big fat ass only had one job, and that was to get a fucking high school diploma on your fucking hover around. You couldn't even do that, you big fat nasty bitch, you. Shut your stupid ass up. Professional, guess what? I'm off the clock right now. I got time. I've been nothing but professional with you fucking bottom feeders this whole fucking time, but y'all been in this fucking comment section coming at me crazy. Now I'm on y'all motherfucking ass. Now it's me over here, I'm the motherfucking unprofessional. Right, Labudo? Right, Gal?
I agree with you. Yeah.
Now these motherfuckers want to go retreat and tuck their nasty ass tail between their fucking legs with y'all nasty bitch ass. Bitches, y'all couldn't even fuck with me on the sunlight or the moonlight, you bitch ass motherfuckers. Y'all motherfuckers are nothing to me, bitch. You want to talk about money? Something that you motherfuckers will never get because y'all right here giving it up. And while you over here speaking, get that money up over here to Labudo. Get Labudo, drop that shit right there. Drop that shit. Go ahead and go and drop your money. Drop your social security card, big mama. Drop your social security check over here to fucking Kevin Lascelles, okay? That's what you do. Maybach Music, I don't even want to talk to you. I won't even address you because you are a fucking troll. You ain't even got to pick you up. But I know you fat as the fuck. Dr. Nappy Head, I'll be all that, bitch, but this my nappy head. You hear me, bitch? While you over there wearing that fucking nasty ass wig, you hear me? You nasty, jealous ass bitch, you stinky booty bitch. Go clean the seats of your fucking hover around, bitch. That shit stinky as a bitch. Bitch, fuck out of here, bitch. You're not fucking with me no time in real life. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. Ma'am, you need professional help? No, bitch, I'll be the one to help you and your mammy and your daddy. Tell your daddy to call me, though. Bitch, if he got some money. All right? Dr. Ghetto, bitch, please. You not Dr. Nothing. How about that? And you never will be. You hear me? And you'll never be. You'll never be a doctor any fucking thing, bitch. Your whole fucking lineage just fucking failed you. That generation before that, the generation before that, and the generation before after that, bitch. And your big fat ass can't carry nothing for your own fucking self, bitch. So ain't nothing after you. Big fat bitch. Bitch, don't fuck with me. Get up here, bitch. I'll fillet your big fat nasty ass. Okay? I'm ghetto. I'm ghetto. Yep. I am ghetto. I am ghetto. Keep what else you got to say? Next, I'm ghetto. Yep. Yes, it is because you know what? I'm an advocate for people that I deal with that have mental health disparities and motherfuckers like you that are sitting up. That motherfucker have the nerve to sit up here and talk about somebody that has things of this sort going on, and y'all motherfuckers got some shit like that going on. So yeah, I'm writing for mine, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm writing for mine. What's up? Now what's next? What's next? Tiger stripe chin bitch you. What's up? What's up? Get y'all big fat. You know what? I know I've been ranting for 3 minutes at best, Labudo, and not a motherfucker yet hit this motherfucking panel debate me, right? Not a motherfucker.
That is true.
Not a motherfucker.
That is true.
Not a motherfucker. Man, get y'all bum ass out of here. Y'all ain't even hit this fucking panel yet. Y'all. She's weak. WEEK? Man, you already lost already, baby. Go back to the drawing board. That boy is coming up here with queso caracas up, wah. The nigga said she's weak. WEEK, man. You're done. Stick a fork in it. Go to bed, fucking Osama bin nothing. What's next? What's next? What's next? Ain't I know you motherfuckers fucking with me. All right? You can hit this fucking panel and have something to say. I'll be up here for the next 2 minutes. After that, I'm done addressing you big fat mangy looking bitches. What's up?
Nothing much. I was just listening to
What's
you.
Up?
Yeah.
Bitch, ain't nobody drunk. Come up here. Bitch, if I'm drunk or not, bitch, I'll argue up under the table and win with logic. With logic. Stupid bitch. Get your fat, nasty ass. I bet your ass come up here and I know you gonna, bitch. That's why you want to come up here, bitch. You on a whole breather machine, you bitch. That's why you in the comments. That's why it took you so long to fucking comment. That's why it took you so long to comment, bitch. It took you a long fucking time. But I'm like, bitch, I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you at the door. And you annoying. And then what? What you gonna do about it? Come up here and tell me I'm annoying. Come up here and tell me I'm annoying, big mama. Come up here and tell me I'm annoying. Try to chop your big fat ass down real quick. Yeah. No, I'm not sensitive, boo. Get up on a panel and speak how you feel. I'll be calm. Get up on the panel. Get up on the panel and speak how you feel. Come on. Don't be keyboard warriors. Yo. This what you got? I'm fat shaming this fat bitch. Yes, I am. I'm fat shaming this fat bitch so she shouldn't have never came at me. Yes, I am. Fuck a fat bitch. Okay? Like, what's her big fat ass name? Key Dead Man? That's what the fuck you gonna be, bitch, if you don't put that fucking burger down, you fat bitch, you. That's what the fuck she gonna be? A fat dead man. Fuck out of here. What the fuck else is going on? I do, and I'll mow your ugly ass down, you bitch, you. Okay? I'll be all that. See, that right there don't even worry me no more. You said the word crazy, but that shit don't worry me no more. Because I know you doing it to fuck with me. That shit that don't bother me, baby. That's what I do. Psychology is my background, baby. Do better. You stand up. You get out that fucking hover around and stand up, bitch. You stand the fuck up, bitch. Your family members are tired of your big fat ass having a fucking hold your big fat nasty ass around, bitch. The only thing you got to do is fucking sit up here and donate your fucking money all the time and shit like that. Donate it to motherfuckers that's over here taking care of your big fat nasty stinky ass, bitch. Can't even get up under them fucking crevices and shit like that. Cause you big as a bitch and you lazy as fuck and you don't want to fucking take care of your goddamn self, you nasty fat black bitch, you. Bitch, you can't keep on talking to me unless you hit this fucking panel or pay to get up on this motherfucker at this point, or pay this motherfucker to keep on making a comment in the comment section. Yeah, nasty fat black bitch with a nasty wig. Bitch, you got all kind of alopecia up under that fucking wig, bitch, you. Oh, bald-headed, black, fat, nasty, Hattie McDaniel looking ass bitch. Bitch, you better leave me the fuck alone because I can keep going. I can keep going just by way of that fucking picture, bitch. You better go and make that shit a whole black circle before you want to keep on coming back to me, okay? Bitch, you can't even fucking do a figure eight in that fucking hover round. You nasty fucking black bitch, you. Go mind the business that pay you, and that's your fucking caregivers, bitch. Because you can't even wipe your own fucking ass, you nasty bitch.
Well, let's see. Okay. Well, anybody who wants to cam back up, you know, I will keep the link open for a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna get the hell up out of here. This has been an awesome live stream exposing the ancestors.
Bitch, you can't tell me how this bitch said I'm over look like Pennywise. But you looking like Mimi from Carrie, bitch. The fuck you say? Bitch, you can't talk about what nobody look like until you cam the fuck up. You old fucking sea bass looking bitch, you. You ain't even a catfish. You a whole fucking whale. Bitch, you. You better get your bitch, little boot on. Well, I am that bitch crying right now. About to go eat a ham sandwich.
Let's see. Well, Eve, I'm about to get the hell up out of here. Thanks, Eve, for coming through. Eve, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to get the hell up out of here. Happy
salute to you, Labudo.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
To everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Hate to have to give it up like that. All right, but it is what it is.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Eve. Peace. Guys, I'm about to get the hell up out of here. This has been a great live stream. And salute to you guys. So peace.